Hey everyone, Derek here from WayScript. In this one, let's see how we can let a user define what information they want to pull from an SQL database and give them that information back in a nice, easily formatted Excel spreadsheet. Let's get started. Starting out with WayScript, there's a huge variety of ways that we can let a user decide what information they want to pull from their SQL database. A simple solution, since we're already going to return a file back, is to use the HTTP trigger. And when we use this trigger, we'll need the response. This time, instead of using an HTML response and giving back the user a web page, what we can do is choose a file download option. This file download will download to the user's computer whenever they visit the URL that is located here. Okay, great. So we already have the file download portion complete for this project. Now we just need to generate that file from an SQL spreadsheet. What we need to do is to allow the user to pull information that is only important to them. So we can do that by using a variable, and we can get one by using a query parameter on our HTTP trigger. There's a bunch of different ways to do this, but let's just say info as a variable that we want to receive from this HTTP trigger. Then we can use that variable to query our SQL database. We can choose the database that we want to query, and then we'll say select all from, I have a database called product bill of materials, where, and then we'll just say ID is equal to this variable that we're pulling in from the HTTP trigger. Awesome. Let's go up. We'll set a default value of 1 just so we can see, and then we'll run our program. We see we get the information back from our database of ID equal to 1. These columns are what we want to return to the user. In my product bill of materials, I'll just say something like ingredient A, B, C, and D. Once we've imported those, we see that we can work with those variables just like how we can with any other variable on the WayScript platform. Awesome. Now we need to create that Excel spreadsheet. We'll choose to write a file. What we want to do here is we want to replace the file and then choose the variables that we want. We have 4 different ones, so we'll need to pull each of those into one of these blanks. Now that we're creating this Excel spreadsheet, we can very simply pass it on to the file download. So we'll click on the HTTP response, have the response type of file download, and we'll choose the file that we want the user to download. For me, it's that info to return.xlsx. We can decide what information we want to receive by attaching that query parameter onto the URL. So this would be a URL that we could give to someone with different product IDs that we could append to the end for them. So we could automate all this hard work. So passing in a query parameter of 5, we see that we get the prompt for a download. I'll go ahead and save it, and then we'll open it up. Once we open it up, just like how we were expecting, we get that information back returned in an Excel spreadsheet for us. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more that you could do with this functionality. I just wanted to show you the basics of how you could dynamically query an SQL database, write a file, and then return that file to your users. If you have any questions or comments, as always, please let us know and we'll help you out. Until next time.